Well. Look at the snow. I'm going to do a couple of podcasts. I might just do this one first, all in one big podcast. I'm going to talk about snow right quick. I'm going to talk about something else right behind that. First of all, the snow is here. Really, it's mainly rain, but it's just above freezing out here in the DMV. And traffic is surprisingly moving. But I know the bad part about it is it's rain out here. You got these leaves out here, which make it even slicker. It's just above freezing, and it's wet, freezing rain. Perfect combination to not act up for damn food. That's for damn sure. But I got some other stuff talking about fools who be trying to act a fool on you, try to take advantage of you. That goes for baby mamas too. Let me get into it a little bit. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. I had a specific thing on my mind about people trying to take advantage of you. Your own people. You know. And the one thing that tripped me out about us, especially people who are on social media, they always trying to cape for your own people, even when they wrong. Even when they wrong. So I'm going to give you two stories that proves that some of us could be just as bad as anybody else. Okay? Now, let me give you the first example. And both of these are actual 100% true stories that actually both involve, that happened to me trying to help somebody. Twice. I could give you some other stories, but I'll give you two in particular. Well, I could give you one more. Well, let me give you these two first, and maybe I'll start from there. Anyway, they both happened probably within about 10 years apart. The first story involves a neighbor. I'll leave his name completely nameless, along with the other guy. The first guy I'm talking about is a neighbor of mine. Now, I won't go into any specifics. I'll say this: he was in need of computer equipment, particularly a printer. So actually, I bought a little small one, and then I bought I think I bought a wireless printer at the time. On top of that, and I had them in two rooms in my house. I don't know why. I think the wireless one was going in one place, the other one was going to be in the main room where I kept my main computer at. So he needed a printer. All right. So I gave him a printer, a little small printer. I don't remember how much I paid for it. I didn't pay that much for it. Anyway, it printed pretty good, right? So one day he came out, and this is after probably about a month. Probably about a month after I gave him the printer. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do. I don't know what kind of print jobs he was trying to do with the printer itself. It's an inkjet printer. There's only so much certain type of paper you can print out of an inkjet paper, and so many, pages per page it will print. I mean, pages per copy. You know what I mean? How many copies per document it will print out at one time. So I don't know what the hell he was trying to do. So anyway, he came over to my house and told me that he ran out of ink. Right? So I told him, I said, well, you got to go get the ink from such and such place. I said, you just match the printer number with the ink. You have to take the ink out and get the printer number and then match the ink for the printer that you have. Of course, this fool come out, find out how much the ink costs, and he's like, well, I don't have the money. I gave you a free printer. A printer you didn't even have to pay for. I paid money out of my pocket, my hard-earned pocket to give to you. Now, this guy wasn't obligated, wasn't married, lived with his mama, and pretty much, was working. But like I said, I tried to help him out. Then he wanted me to buy the ink cartridges for him. So I said, I tell you what, I'll get half the money for the ink, and you have to come up with the other half to get the ink. And he really was slightly reluctant to do that. I'm like, I give you, and I told him straight up, I give you a free printer. After I got that, then he wanted to borrow paper. You could buy reams of paper for $3 a bundle or something like that. a stack or a box. I think something like that, something real cheap. I was like, really? Man, Negroes are cheap as hell. You know, even when you try to do shit for them, they just on every goddamn thing. And this guy was working. It wasn't like he didn't have a job. This guy was literally, he was working. He had a job. That's what really irked the fuck out of me, man. I say, really? I'm trying to help your ass, and you still trying to take advantage of somebody. And truthfully, I didn't really fool with him too much after that. I really didn't. They don't try to get him to hang out with me, go a couple ball games, something like that. They didn't want to do that. I tried to go to the gym and hang out. Nope, they want to do it. But you want to borrow money. Borrow stuff. I mean, not borrow money. You won't want that one to happen. You want to borrow all the stuff from me. You know? And I'm like, you know what? That's why I don't like it. I get that in a second. So that was one story. That actually was a 100% true story. Here's the other 100% true story. When I lived in District Heights, my son used to play football with some kids that was on his team, and they used to live up the little ways, just a little up the road from us, not far. And the guy was him, his wife, and his sons. I'm not gonna go into too much detail on that, but you know, I used to help him out sometimes. I would give him a change, you know, because I know he was a dad like me, trying to take care of his family and stuff like that, and help him go get groceries, and you know, did a few odds and ends for him, helped him out, you know, and it was all good. But and even took him to work a couple of times. You know, came over my house, hung out, and watched a couple of fights or whatever. Fed them, whatever. Brought his kids over. You know, we had a great time. And he was working. I'm not going to even tell you where he worked at. So I'm not going to even go into all that. Because anyway, so it was all good. And then when I was talking to my wife, I said, I miss hanging on. He was a good dude, man. You know, we were cool. You know, we both family men, trying to make ends meet and all of that, and I try to help him out, but whatever, blah 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 blah. Good dude, man. So one day, when we moved to another, we moved to our other house and sold the first one. And my old lady said she ran into him. Ran into him and his family, and it was telling me about the kids got big and all that, blah blah blah. So she gave me his number or whatever, and I called him up. I said, "Well, what's going on, man?" He's like, all right, he's telling me about the situation with his wife's family and all that, and blah blah blah. And, he said he gonna come on by one day. I said, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go get this fight, man. Come on through." So then he turned around the next day talking about, "Well, I can't get the fight. I mean, I can't go to your house because my wife had to go down south. She had to take care of, they had, death in the family, blah, blah, blah." Okay. So we only got one car. Okay, that's cool. So I'm thinking, I'm buying the fight. You can't get over there. Now, this is pre-Uber, by the way, on top of that. Then I got to go pick you up, go across the other side of town to get you in another town, bring you all the way back to my house, watch the fight to about 1:30 in the morning, then take you back, and then go back to my house and get ready for church in about 3 or 4 hours. No. So, seriously. I'm like, no. So I changed my mind. I said, seriously, like the brother. And I told him, I said, man, I ain't gonna, because I was tired anyway. I was like, nah, it's not gonna happen. I seriously was tired. I was tired for real. I was tired big time. I didn't feel like doing nothing. Honestly didn't. So I ended up not doing it. But in any case, that was probably about 5-6 years ago, and heard from him since. He ain't never called back. That's Negroes for you. I always want to take advantage of what you got, even though they could be. And he was a family man like I was, Never heard from him. He ain't never called back. He had my number. Oh well. But that's Negroes for you. If they can't take advantage of what they of your resources, they don't want nothing to do with you, or won't even talk to you in some cases. Damn, what's damn? There's a mess out here, man. But anyway, so I said, okay, fine. That's why I tell people I don't fool with a lot of Negroes, man. because we always oh yeah, there was one other, but that's a couple of them. But one guy who I used to work with said he had some tickets for a college basketball game, at a major college. I'm not going to go into detail about that. I've talked about that before too. And I said, okay, cool. Let me know what time it is. We'll roll out together, man. I help you pay for this, blah blah blah. And we'll go from there. So he told my son by the second time he called. My son was all psyched. I think my son might have still been in grade school. I think he was in grade school when he told me. I remember he answered the phone. So next thing you know, the guy called back to my, well, actually, I got the tickets for my sister, so I don't know if we'll be able to go together now, blah, blah, blah. Changed his mind. I said, okay. Didn't hear from that nigga no more either. I see him every now and then. But that goes to show you, man, Negroes, man. But this is what he offered to me. I didn't know anything about it. I said, okay, I'm down, whatever, man. I was ready to roll with it. But of course, he reneged on it later on, and I said, okay, well, fine. I guess fine. I ain't going through all that. And I just, after that, hey, I ain't talked to him since. They didn't live that far from me either. I said, so we don't, but let's go try Negroes. Either Negroes, when you try to do something for them, they try to take advantage of you, or if they do offer you something, they backpedal on that too. You just can't win. You just can't win. You can't win with Negroes no matter how hard you try. And I've been told, people talk about, well, you forgot where you came from. I ain't forget where I came from. I think Negroes forgot that we're Negroes together. And they forgot about, being honest and, being about your word. That's what Negroes forgot. I ain't forgot none of that. But when it come to me, they forget about all of that. That's why I'm forwarding too many there. I mean, seriously, it's not that, and I know some people, you self-hate. No, I ain't self-hate no motherfucking body. And anybody tell me I don't know what the fuck they talking about, real talk. I ain't self-hating no shit. I just know how Negroes are when I try to do something up, they want to talk, they want to double down on everything. They do it all the time. That's why I'm forward. And I continue not to do it. Because of that. Intentional. I found a lot of Negroes ain't about the word no more. They go back on the word all the time, on everything, man. They've always done it with me. I've even had relatives do the same thing, to be honest. So I was like, so I just stay myself. Fuck it. More for me than not to have to deal with more for me to deal with what I need to deal with, and less for me to deal with about you. That can always be a good thing. And actually, it usually is. Don't want to deal with the headaches, man. I just simply don't want to deal with the headaches no more. Because people go in on the world all the time. I can't say that white people don't do it because I don't have any, to be honest, I don't have any white friends. Or anybody I would consider a friend who is white. So I can't say that. I ain't going to say yeah or nay on that at all because I don't have any to really judge it by. So, but I can honestly say the ones who I did fool with when I was in the military and stuff usually didn't go on their word with me. The ones I was tight with. They usually did. Now that's a fact. Everybody else, yes. Now, I can say that for a fact. I know people go, well, they ain't there, but shut up. You don't want to hear. Really. So, the other thing is that bothers me, there was something I watched on YouTube. I'm not going to say who the YouTuber was that posted it, but it was a story about this woman who lost her 4 kids. I think a couple of YouTubers have posted that. And the woman had this lawyer on there talking about, how he was checking out her booty, big booty. But I don't know if she did have one, I couldn't see, but I saw her from the head neck up. And she talked about everything but her kids. She was on the ram about 15 minutes that I saw. She talked about everything but her kids. Her kids is the only thing I think she mentioned one about her daughter, 16-year-old daughter, was pregnant. That's about the only thing she said. That's all she talked about. She ain't talking about nothing about trying to get a kid back. Nothing. I was like, really? And I have to agree with some people. It's the average black woman today. I'm talking about the young black women, not older ones, but I said the younger generation black women are the worst stewards of raising children, and they are. I know a great example of one. There's one woman that I know allows her youngest kid, who's about 7, 8 years old, to still sleep in bed with her. Who does that? I'm not going to even ask. Oh, black women do. I don't know why. No, it might be some white women do that. I can't say that. But then I don't know of any. So I can only say about the ones I know of. And the ones I know of have to be black. But my wife and I, we put a stop to that with my son when he was 2. By the time he was 2 years, my wife said, I ain't having that. He got his own bed, had little rails on the side to make sure he didn't roll up out of the bed. I think that happened maybe once. And he was 2 years old. And the bed was low enough for him to just, roll out and not having to have a hard fall. So he was good. The fall probably about maybe less than a half a foot, which is not that far. That's 6 inches. That's like that's like doing push-ups. But it only happened once that I know of. So he was good. You can't slow down? Jeez. Let's do this right here. But nevertheless, though, wow. Just ready for no water. Okay, I guess I ain't gonna be able to get to that, but I'll pace myself. But I thought that when I heard about that, I was like, are you serious? You honestly gonna let your 8-year-old boy still sleep in the bed with you? Shoot. I was like, I broke my kid off of that when he was 2. Yeah, he was just barely 2. I was like, you're not doing that no more. And really, to be honest, he never did it that much anyway. We didn't let him do that much when he was an infant. Really, I mean, if he was like, had like a toothache or something like that, because when he was teething, yeah, he slept a bit with a couple times then. But even then, like I said, it wasn't often. Very, very rare. Or I would stay up with him one night, hold until he went to sleep. Something like that. But beyond that, nope. We had to break him out of that early. Now, the one thing that I couldn't break him out of was reading him a bedtime story. That was my favorite thing. And when I started going to school back in the late 90s, I missed it. Thinking about that tore my heart. It did. But I made it up to him. The days, like on the weekends, I would read him a bedtime story and let him stay up a little late. But it tore my heart. Because I missed doing that. But I had to do something for the greater good of taking care of my family. Because there was going to always be times I was going to chance to read stories and stuff like that. And I bought him books. I bought him I think it was like the books that were talking books, something like that. It was like some kind of talking book. I remember the Speak and Say and all that stuff when he was younger. And my wife was reading stories. I had bought a big book of nursery rhymes. And I did miss that. I missed it so much, man. He was like, read me a bedtime story, Dad. He loved it every single night. And I loved doing it. I really did. I really did. Sometimes he would go to sleep. Sometimes I had to read him 2 or 3 more stories to get him to sleep. But I missed that. That's the one thing I can honestly say, missing doing what I did as a father for my young child was reading bedtime stories to him. That meant the world to me. But like I said before, there's certain things we didn't do, and that's like let him sleep in the bed until he was like 8-9 years old. Now on the weekends, sometimes he would be like 4 or 5 o'clock, get up and go to bed and come in and lay down for about a little bit. But that was the extent of it. But after he got about 7 years old, he wasn't even doing that anymore. He wasn't doing that at all. Y'all people don't know how to slow down around here, do y'all? Really? So, it's just crazy. Oh, I see what they're trying to block their car. A bunch of them in a hurry to get home and got this mess. Come on, man. Jesus Christ. You don't want to go home, damn it. But black women, honestly, today they do let their kids get away with a lot of stuff, and they do. And black mothers in particular, and I've seen it. They do stupid stuff with their sons. Like this one, she guilt shamed her son. This is no joke. I read about a year ago, like about a year, 2 years ago, something like that. She guilt shamed her son into taking her to his prom. Yeah. I think the son might have little issues. I'm not going to go into detail about that, which is the reason why I think he did take her. But real reason he took her. But she literally, as far as I'm concerned, she punked him to take her. Because she had him when she was his age around prom time years ago. And then she like, well, I miss my prom. I like, would like my son to take me to my prom. Because I had him when I was supposed to be going to my prom and I couldn't go because I was pregnant with him. And you blame the son for that? That is not only immature, that is totally ignorant to me. You're going to blame the son and guilt shame him into taking you to a prom. He missed out on his fun being around you because you felt bad about you couldn't go to the prom because you was pregnant with him. Like that was his fault. You needed to let the kid be the kid that he needed to be. That's like me saying, because I didn't go to my prom. I went to my after prom. I skipped my prom. I didn't go to my high school prom. Well, of course, I went to my high school graduation. My own graduation. I wasn't missing that for the world. But I actually skipped my prom. First of all, my prom was across town. Second of all, I knew a lot of people at my former girlfriend at the time's prom, because a lot of them used to go to my old high school that I used to hang out with. Former classmates, a ton of them. And that's why I went to her prom, because I knew a lot of people, and it was on my side of town, where my prom was across town. And they said wasn't a lot of them that went there. There wasn't that many seniors that went. Like maybe about a dozen or so seniors that went. That hotel. I decided not to go, but I did go to my after prom. There was a bunch of us at that one. And I think the quarter when I was here, the after prom was more exciting than the prom was. So my girlfriend and I went to my after prom, and we went to her prom. Her prom was like a combination of a prom and after prom. It was cool as shit. Come on, y'all. Move it here. Move it. But there's no way I was going to be taking my mother to my damn prom. Because I know my mother, I could hear my mother, you need to take your mama to the prom because she missed her prom because she had you. Really? I mean, just the mentality that, some black women, then you got some black women who I've seen this happen, dress their sons to dress up like them. Not necessarily with a skirt, but the same pattern and everything. I was like, you kidding me, right? There was one woman, it's a true story. I think it was either on Maury or Jerry Springer. I think it might have been Maury. I think it was because it sounded more like a Maury story. This black woman married her son. Think about that for a moment. This black woman legally married her 9-year-old son. I don't know how the fuck she ever got away with that. I don't even know if it was a true story. But who the hell would even think about some bullshit like that? Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. There are some mothers who refer to their sons as the man of the house, even though he's not really the man of the house. I got somewhat of a secret for you. There were some people in my church. Let me put it like this. In a church who used to refer to my son as the same thing. Even though my son, I was living with. I was with my son and his mother. The whole time. Never left. And they were saying that. Boy, he's a man now. Get the fuck out of here, you old dried up bitch. How the hell you gonna say some shit like that? He has a father. His father lives with him. His father's married to his mother. Are you serious? Yeah. That goes to show you, even in a church, the mentality is fucked up when it comes to sons and black men. They'll throw you in the bus. That happened to me too. Yeah. And even, got a lot of NBA players out here. It was a show, it was a BET show. The guy, I forgot what's the guy's name. He played with the Redskins, and he had his own reality show for about a minute. I think he was still with the Redskins at the time. He played 2 years. He just matter of fact, he's with Tampa Bay now. I cannot think of his name. Damn. His mother was like that because his mother found out he was dating this girl in Virginia that he got pregnant, and his mom was all over him about it. Oh my God. She was all over him about it. Well, you better make sure you get another DNA test. She acted like he couldn't do nothing on his own. He couldn't even wipe his own ass without his mom being a part of it. And it was a basketball player was like that too. His mom was the same way. His mother played with the WNBA, and he played with the NBA, and she was the same way. They act like he was the man of the relationship instead of the son. It's weird. A lot, and of course, these women were both. Deshaun something. Y'all know the guy. I forgot his name. Deshaun something. That was a football player played with the Redskins. But I don't remember his mother. I think his father. His father had died or something. I don't even remember. I don't remember the whole story behind that. But I know his mother and father were no longer in a relationship together. I know that has something to do with that. But the basketball guy I know him and his mom lived in LA. And his mom act like that he was the man of the relationship instead of the son. It was weird. But the mentality with single black mothers is real. And I don't mean no harm about it, but you got a lot of them like that, man. I'm not saying all of them because you had to specify in our neck of the woods, in our community, you had to specify not all, but there are a lot of them like that. There's quite a few of them like that. Too numerous to count, to tell you the truth. To be upfront, they're all like that. A lot of them are like that. Who's the guy I play with? Who had fallout in Golden State? Kevin Durant. When they won the championship with him last year, I think? Yeah, it was last year. He won his first championship with Golden State. And his mother was like all over him. It was weird. She was damn near emasculating him on national television. I don't know what that was about. It was just weird. Or at least it appeared like she was. But it was just weird. It was a weird scene. It's okay for the woman to sleep with the baby daddy, but you acknowledge the baby as being the little man, the man of the house, and not because the man that you was with, you decided he was no good for you all of a sudden. It's weird. Then you got these black mothers out here. There's another story. You got black mothers out here, and I've seen this too. I witnessed this at my church. I forgot who the person was. And she was like, they were talking about Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to me. Happy Father's Day to you. What? I really was going to say something, and I probably should have that day. I could have. I said no. I think somebody else spoke up and said, Father's Day is for Father's Day, Mother's Day is for Mother's Day. That's why you are a mother. When your turn comes for Mother's Day, your mother. If it's Father's Day, you just don't celebrate it. If Father ain't around, you don't celebrate it. That's all there's to it. Don't try to make yourself big. And a Hallmark of all people had a nerve to try to put out a card for black mothers whose kids don't have their father around them in a relationship, and they wanted to make a Father's Day card for black mothers. I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" That was the stupid. And I remember it came out. It was a campaign ad and everything on TV. And I said to myself, and I lashed out about it. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. You gonna tell me you gonna give black women credit for being both a mother and father with a card on a day that's not even theirs? I'm the mother and the daddy. No, you're the mother. Don't try and make a claim to something you really are not. You may be doing some fatherly things like a father. That doesn't make you a father. Sorry, I'm calling that out. And then you got women out here who actually don't have a problem trying to act like they're a man. That's another whole story. I'm talking about, in terms of women trying to be everything to a point where they don't need no man in life at all by trying to be something that they're not. It's weird, man. I'm like, really? You have to call it out. I've seen too many acts of that in our communities all the time. That's why I just shake my head. I said my Tommy, a lot of what he says is true. You can't deny it. You can't deny the facts that are in front of you, especially when he brings it up. But no, Negroes don't want to talk about that. You talk about putting all black women down. Now, I have a little bit of an issue with him talking about dark-skinned women. I'm with a darker-skinned woman myself, and I love her dearly. My thing is, you have light-skinned, and I've dated a number of light-skinned women. I've had more trouble with light-skinned women than I have dark-skinned women, to be honest. I'm trying to think. I might have trouble with one or two, but not a whole lot of them. My issue always went with the fair-skinned women. And some of them used to like me, some of them used to be a trip. And some of the light-skinned women play head games. I've had it happen, and I'm being totally honest. I've had much more problems with them than anybody. But it doesn't matter about the skin. It's just who they are. That's the main issue. And that's the way you got to look at it. You can't necessarily, how are we going to talk about people like not judging us for our skin tone, and we're doing the same thing in our own communities? Yeah. We do the same shit that we tell people, oh, you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be judging us by our skin tone. But yet you judge people by their skin tone. It's weird. We do a lot of double talking about things all the time, just like I was talking about. And that's the point I'm trying to make. We do one thing and we say another. We talk loud a lot of times and we say no. We do stupid shit, but don't want to be accountable for the stupid shit that you do. That's basically the point I'm trying to make. We need to be accountable for what we do, be it right or wrong. We're not perfect, but in order to move along and move ahead and move forward with the things we should be doing to improve, working towards the things we should be improving in our communities and neighborhoods, man, accountability is one of the things we should definitely start doing. I think if we get to the point where we start being accountable for some of our actions to ourselves and among ourselves, that can change things. This is DJ Wolf. That's all I got to say about it. Questions or comments or debates about this or any other topic you would like to discuss, please feel free. My email address is an open book to you to talk about those kind of things. If you want to debate me on a live podcast, I'll be willing to facilitate that for you. I really would. Okay, we can do this on Blog Talk Radio. We can do it on Spreaker. We can do it on Google, YouTube. it don't matter. Those options are available. And I definitely will facilitate that for you if you choose to do so. Email address, djwolflive@aol.com, djwolflive@aol.com. I can also be reached in the comment section for All to Hear TV on YouTube. That's for All to Hear, FORALL, the number 2, here, for All to Hear on YouTube. And my other email address, which is my for All to Hear Media email address. It's not the email address, but you can get a link to my subscriptions email address, and you can do it that way. For All to Hear Media.net. That's for All to Hear Media.net. That's my website. All right, guys. This is DJ Wolf. That's all I gotta say for right now that I can think of. I think I'm gonna talk about. Well, I talked about Amazon, but I'm gonna talk about why I won't do Black Friday. And from the looks of the traffic, if it's like this next week, I know for damn sure I won't be. This is DJ Wolf. I'm out.